Hi everyone, it's Brandy Collinborn with Brush by Brandy. If you're not already, I hope you guys will go follow my page. Katie Clemente was nice enough to invite me on here to come see your page and teach you guys a few techniques. So let me know if you're on and you're watching, but I'm going to go ahead and get started, and anyone can catch this on replay too. So what I'm going to work on with you guys is going to be this desk that's behind me. And this desk is a customer's piece. She brought it to me. And I left it in the original condition on this leg here because I wanted to show you guys how I got started. Hi, Katie. Hi, Regina. I wanted to show you guys how I got started. So I'm going to move you in a little bit closer so you can see. This was what my original finish was. It came to me, sorry, I'm a little bit fuzzy and I don't know why. Oh, okay, so this was my original finish. The customer brought it to me and it's got a coat of primer on it that somebody else did, but otherwise it's in fairly good condition. So I'm going to show you what I did from here with the coat of primer on there. This is going to be the first step, and you hear all the time that your paint finish is only as good as your prep work is. So I'm going to show you from start to finish what I do for prep work up until our base coat, and then we'll continue working on this piece together. So what I start with when I'm is a good cleaning. You got to clean your piece, and so I use Dixie Belle White Lightning. White Lightning is a granulated product. You guys are welcome to come on and ask me any questions you have, either about my piece or about my business, anything you'd like to know. I'm open to answering those. Hey Katie, thank you so much for having me. You guys, Katie is an inspirational artist, and I feel very lucky that she invited me on to meet you guys into her group, and so I'm really excited to be here. Thank you so much for considering me, Katie. So this is what I'm going to use. It's a granulated product, almost like a table salt, and I take it and I mix it into a spray bottle. It's about, let's see, what is it? It's a tablespoon to 8 ounces of water. So I get out of this little container that's like $4, I get, 200 spray bottles. Just kidding, but close enough. So I'm going to put my cleaning gloves on because I'm fancy. And then I take my mixture of the White Lightning and I just spray it directly onto my piece. And I take a piece of steel wool and I scrub my piece down. White Lightning is similar to TSP. It's actually formulated with TSP. It's formulated with, but it's not straight TSP. So it's a little more gentle. You get it on your skin, it's not going to burn. But I do wear gloves when I'm using it. I like to save my manicure. It's a really effective cleaner, and some of these pieces you won't realize how dirty they are until you wipe them down. They might look clean, like this looks pretty clean. It's got a coat of, someone sprayed primer on it already. But I'm going to wipe it down anyways because I don't know where it's been since then. And I will go around my whole piece with a piece of steel wool. And this is the point where I'm getting to know my piece. Also, I'm looking for any areas that I might need to sand down or any repairs I might need to do. So I'm on the ground, moving around my piece and getting to know it at the same time. So I give it a good scrub down. And then I will come back and wipe it down. I'm always curious to see what comes off. I mean, it didn't look dirty, but there's stuff coming off of my piece. Could just be dust from it sitting around after it was primed. I don't know. My customer bought it with the coat of primer on it, and then she brought it to me to fix it. So, I mean, I got some stuff off, and that's just one leg. So, and then from there, I will come back with some water, and I want to rinse any residue from my cleaner off of my piece. So I wipe it down again, just with water. I will sometimes use soapy dishwater and a sponge just with some Dawn in it, but you don't want to have any cleaner residue on your piece when you're going to finish it either. So once I've cleaned my piece, I'm going to show you guys my inspiration, what I'm working with here. So what I'm going to do on this is going to be part of a bedroom set that I've done. I've done a whole bit set for this woman, which actually is really nice because I have the privilege of knowing what her room looks like. And the entire set was all done in purples, but every one of them was a little bit different. So I'm going to be using this transfer, and this is a transfer by Redesign with Prima. We're going to be putting this on. You guys will get to see how these work. But I'm going to be pulling my color inspiration from this transfer. Again, I want to stay in the purple family because her whole set is done in the purples. This has some purples in it, so I'm going to pull from there. But I'm going to do some dark burgundies and blacks, and then we'll go ahead and put our transfer on as we get further along. That'll probably be day 3. I'm going to be here for the next 3 days with you guys. Okay, so once my piece is nice and clean and dry, I'm going to take my primer, which I don't have in front of me, and I don't know why. My husband cleaned up for me today. Sorry about that. He was helping me out, but that didn't really help me out. He tries. Okay, so now my leg is clean and dry. Sorry, you guys are kind of sideways. You know, Katie, some of their products are pricey, but if you go to scrapbook.com, runs them on sale a lot. So, for example, this was about $30, and you know, that seems pricey, but it's going to make my piece. I think it adds value to a piece too, and I'm able to get a little bit more in the sale of it because it's a little bit more artistic. So, and this is one of their large transfers. So at $30, this is I think it's 40 by 30. Yeah, 44 by 30. This is a big one. It's going to cover the entire top of this desk. So some of the smaller ones are even less than that. Scrapbook.com runs sales on them a lot. So look for that, and then they'll do free shipping if you spend so much. So that's a great resource to look for deals on Prima stuff. Prima also has some great stencils, and their stencils actually are really reasonably priced. For a large stencil that you can use over and over again, you spend about $20, whereas like Royal Design stencils, theirs are like $50 for a stencil. So what I'm using for my primer is just a spray primer. It's a dark gray because, like I said, we're going to go into some darker colors that I'm going to pull out of that transfer. So I have my dark gray primer. This is not a stain blocking primer. It's not going to stop bleed through. The only thing it's doing is giving me a uniform color. So I'm not worried about bleed through on this piece at all. If I was, I would use a stain blocking primer. If I had odors, I would use an odor blocking primer. For this one, I'm just using the primer to get me a nice even base to paint onto. So I'm going to go ahead and spray this. It looks better already. When I'm working in light colors, I like to prime my piece, just because primer can save you a coat of paint sometimes. This can is like $3, and if it saves me a coat of expensive chalk paints, then priming can be very worth it. So this time I'm using it to cover up a white base, and I'm going to put dark colors over it. I've chosen the gray. I'm going to try to not get this on my floor. My cardboard didn't move with it, but I'll come all the way around. And just get a nice even coat of primer on. So I've already primed the rest of my desk. So I'm going to bring you guys over to the other side, and that's where we're going to start putting our paint coat on. Yes, absolutely. Primer is, honestly, if I can save myself a coat of paint, I will prime every time. I'm going to come over here to this leg, and we're going to start laying our paint colors on. So I've got quite a few colors out here today. I'll show you guys what I chose to pull out of my transfer. I moved my desk and all my paint moved with it. Sorry about that. And my brushes too are all on the other side now. Okay. So like I showed you, my transfer, it has some blues in it, some pinks, some burgundies. So I'm going to start, because I know the set that this is going with Dixie Belle Aubergine. Aubergine is a purple, a deep, deep, rich purple. And then I'm going to fade it into Muscadine Wine is a burgundy. And from there, I'm kind of up in the air. So my first coat is always subject to change. I'm going to lay colors on, and I'll see how they dry. And if I don't like it, I can change it with my second coat. So I'm thinking Plum Crazy somewhere in here, but I might go a little bit lighter than this even. So I'm going to run this from the top of my piece. I'm going to start up here with the aubergine, and I'm going to run it into a lighter color going down the legs. So it looks like that color is just kind of dripping, kind of fading down the legs. So my favorite brushes are the Dixie Belle Mini brushes. They're a synthetic brush made with polyester and nylon bristles. They lay paint on really nicely. So I'm going to take this, and I use a brush for each of my colors. I'm going to start out up here with the aubergine. Again, this is just my base coat, so I can change this later. But I'm going to start on the edge with the aubergine, and then I'm going to go right into the muscadine wine. I really don't want to, when you can't open your paint on camera, it needs to bang on the floor. There we go. Okay. So this is the aubergine color. It almost looks kind of black once you top coat it. You know how chalk paints can change color once you apply a top coat? This will go on looking purpley. Let me bring you guys in. Will go on looking purpley.
I want to be in your leg, Mom. Can I move?
Get up here underneath my desktop. And this will allow me to lay my colors on. I think I want that muscadine wine to even go up onto the top. I don't want it to be a full ombre. I want it to look a little bit random, so it doesn't need to be uniform all over. But I really want it to be dramatic, and I like the dark colors under that transfer. So you just see it makes the color of the flowers really pop. Hey Sass, can you go over there and get all my brushes that are on the floor? Okay, I'm a stay-at-home mom of 3 boys. My boys often pop up in my videos because no matter how much I say, Mom is going live, you guys need to go play, they end up on my videos. So this is real life. This is my 4-year-old Logan. They know I work out in the garage, and so they come visit me. And they are the best assistants ever. So I really got nice coverage. I've got that primer on there. I get like second coat coverage in my first coat.
Can I open that, Mama?
So now I'm going to take, like I said, I want the darker colors to stay up here, and I really want that fade to start on the legs. So since I'm working on the legs with you guys, I'm going to go right into my muscadine wine. So this is a new container. I'm going to open it. So each piece I've done for this customer has been really fun. She really just kind of sets me free, and yeah, cuties. Yeah, they can be sometimes. Right now they look cute. So you see that? That's a really bold color, but I think it's going to be pretty with the colors in the transfer to pull out the colors in those flowers. I love how these brushes lay my paint on. But with the primer, I'm really getting second coat coverage with my first coat. I will still come back and put a second coat on here. And that's where I'll really finalize my blending and my paint colors. So like I said, this could change. I almost want this to be a little more purpley, so I might mix this color for my next coat and make it a little more purpley. I'm going to add a little bit of water in here because I'm going to run these into each other. I have a brush for each color. Oh, it does kind of look like a sunset. My son said it looks like a sunset. I have a brush for each color, and I'm just brushing over these. The water in there helps keep it pliable, keep my paint open. I will even come back with a vertical brush stroke and then rebrush it horizontally again. There's that purpley color that I wanted. So maybe I just need to carry the blend on this further down. You guys have ideas on this stuff is constantly evolving. You know, Katie asked me last night, I need to put out a materials list. And I'm like, well, I'm not 100% sure what my colors are going to end up being. So I'm going to put out a materials list with my best guess at this point. And it could change by the time I'm done if I change my colors a little bit. So now I'm going to lower you guys down a little bit, and then I'm going to start working on the bottom of this leg. Okay, so here's my story. I'm building a house right now. We just moved. I'm unpacking. I cannot find the cord for my good tripod. It's killing me right now. So I'm using one that's not my favorite. Okay, and this is really pinky, so this is interesting. I might mix this a little bit too, because I don't really want a pink. I want the burgundies. I'm going to spray this so my paint goes on a little bit better. I'm not diluting my paint, I'm just using the water as a lubricant on my surface. Yeah, see what I want is I want the muscadine wine mixed with the, this is Dixie Belle Plum Crazy. I want them mixed together, so I might pre-mix these for my second coat. You guys will see that tomorrow. But right now, see, this is the time when I can lay on my colors and see if I like the way that it's turning out. And right now, maybe this muscadine wine is not the color I wanted. So I'm going to come over here and bring it down this leg now. I don't want too much uniformity, so I want each of these legs to be a little bit different. And in the front, on one of the front legs, this is the back side of it. I might even tie in some greens and blues from the colors in my transfer, which does have some greens and blues in it. This is going to go on the top. I'm not loving these colors for this. So this is highly subject to change when we work on this again tomorrow. I kind of figured that might happen on this piece. I wasn't 100% sure. So I'm starting out and really experimenting with them. I'm probably going to mix this muscadine wine into a more purpley burgundy. That's better. Okay, and then I'm going to carry some of the aubergine from the top down over here. You know, up here it's kind of going up, but down here I'm going to bring it down a little bit lower. Again, this is just my base coat, so I can perfect any of my transitions with my second coat, which we're going to do tomorrow. I wait overnight in between my paint coats and let them dry overnight. Keep turning this stuff. Yeah, I really want this a little more purple. I'll back you guys up so you can see that better. Okay. Got a brush hair in there. So this is one of the consequences of painting live. This is what happens when you're really painting, is that I'm not happy with these colors. I'm probably going to make some changes, but they'll work for a base coat just fine. So I'm feeling out my look while I'm putting this base coat on. I really want it to be dark and dramatic, so that's kind of what I'm going for. Turn this again. And I'll work on this back piece. I'm going to start with the aubergine. On the top, I'm going to put the aubergine into some black, which is Dixie Belle Caviar. I just want a really rich look, and those purples and reds give a really, really rich look. I'm pretty sure my kids just took off with my spray bottle, because I would love to spray this right now. Let me grab another one, hang on. Okay. This is a spray mister. It gives a, make it look so, it really is, you guys. It's that easy. The mister will give you a fine spray mist versus a heavy coat of water. And I just want a mist of water right now. I use the misters a lot. They won't lay on a heavy coat of water that will leave watermarks on your piece. They'll just mist it with a fine spray of water. So I'm liking this rich purpley color. I'm going to carry this down on this back side, and I'm just going to make this little edge go into the red. I just reloaded on the aubergine paint. You know, I'm not trying to teach any techniques here or anything. I'm really just laying on a base coat, and I will finalize this with my second coat. But I wanted to show you guys the full process that this piece will go through, and then what my thinking is along the way. So now I'm going to come back to my muscadine wine, which is that rich burgundy color. I'm just going to hit this bottom edge. I'm going to keep brushing it into the aubergine paint. Let them mix where they will. Really mixing the colors on my piece. And then I'm going to come back with my brush for the aubergine, and I'm going to bring that down because I want that to be stronger here. All right, and then I've got a nice blend. Like I said, I'm going to come back still with a second coat, but this is my base, and I really like this piece right here. Yeah, the misters from Hobby Lobby. Yeah, I order mine on Amazon. They're like 10 bucks a piece, but it's absolutely a great investment. It's definitely worth every penny. So I'm going to turn this, and again here, I'm going to carry the burgundy down this leg. And this is my brush for the aubergine, so I don't want to start with that. I'm going to start with the muscadine wine. I just want this color to be more purpley. You know how burgundies can lean either to red or to purple? God, my camera is... There we go. Sorry about that, guys. Burgundies can lead either to the reds or the purples. And I want this one to be a little more purpley, and it's more red. So that's okay. I'm just going to tint my paint for my second coat and get exactly the color that I want. So Dixie Belle has about 60 colors in their line, and I love that because whenever there's not one that I want to work with, I will mix it myself. So not only are the 60 colors my option, but everything in between is an option as well. You don't have to be scared of mixing colors. I mix colors in really small amounts. I start out with a paper plate and I just add little drops until I have a color I like. And then I will repeat that on a larger scale. Excuse me. Okay, and now I'm going to come back with some Plum Crazy and put that down here on the bottom of my leg. So I'll tilt you guys down a little bit. And I'm introducing a third brush for my third color. I like to work with a brush for each color. This has some carving, some fluting on the legs, and I'm going to use glaze to really emphasize the fluted details once all my paint is on. So I'm kind of digging this into the details. Okay, and then I'm going to come back and bring my muscadine wine down. I'm going to add some water because it's getting a little dry. Again, the water is not to dilute my paint, it's really just to lubricate my surface. Okay, and then I'm going to bring my Plum Crazy up into the muscadine wine so those mix on this leg. So it will appear as though it's getting lighter as you get towards the floor. I don't know if this Plum Crazy is the perfect choice. It's probably too close in color for the muscadine wine. So I think my light color might change. I usually try to work with a gradation of colors. Oh, Katie, I don't know. You are a fantastic artist. So you guys, something that's hard to figure out is, what is your style? What is your painting style? Katie, you have a painting style that is all your own. You do you, and you do it fabulously, like nobody else. But figuring out what that style is can be a hard thing. So this may not be your painting style, and that's okay, because if you do something else better, it's always good to know the different techniques. Katie, I watch your videos to learn what you do. Okay, so these colors are really close in tone, and I think I'm going to change that as I work around this. I'm going to go into something lighter. So you can pretty much nix the Plum Crazy. I'll get a final materials list once I know what I'm actually doing. I'll give you guys a real look at what it really looks like to paint a piece though. But I love, love, love what's going on up here. This is gorgeous. This is exactly what I want. What's going on up here. And that's the aubergine and the muscadine wine. So I just need a tone. You know what I'm going to do? Hang on, I'm going to grab a color. I think this might be better. Yeah, I love this. I'm going to go with 2 rows instead of the Plum Crazy. An evolution, guys. So I'm going to get rid of my brush that I dirtied with the Plum Crazy on it. I'm going to introduce a new brush. I don't prefer painting with the oval brushes, but I have it out, so I'm going to go ahead and use it. Yeah, this adds a little bit of softness. You guys can see down here where I'm working. I'm going right over my wet paint. Again, I'll clean it up with my second coat. I like this much, much, much better. So now I'm going to blend this up into the muscadine wine. There we go. So that's more of what I'm going for on this piece. I want the feet to be a lighter color, and those two were just too close in tone for me. Blending on a curved surface is a challenge. I'm going to bring this pink up because I really want to see where they come together. You want to keep your paint wet to keep it moving. Once it starts drying and your brush starts sticking, that's how you know that you need to add a little bit of water. Your brush should not start sticking. Different paints also blend differently. So, know the paints that are out there, what's on the market, and what's the best tool for your job is essentially what you're looking for. And some paints do certain looks better than others. I love the way that Dixie Belle paint blends. It has this long open life, so I can come back and keep working this paint until I like the look. This is just my base coat. I don't want to over focus on getting the look perfectly, and I tend to do that. So I'm really just trying to lay on the colors right now. My second coat is where I'm going to perfect this. Okay, and I like this much better. It looks a little crazy right now, but stay with me, guys. It's going to be pretty. So I'm probably going to go and let you guys enjoy your evening. Now that I've got my color combo figured out, and then tomorrow we're going to come back. I'm going to finish this base coat tonight. Tomorrow we're going to come back. We will put our second coat on, and that is where I'm going to finalize all my colors. You're really going to see this, what it's going to look like. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much, Katie, for bringing me on. And I'll be back tomorrow. We'll put a second coat on this. I'll try to be a little better set up. I'm not liking my camera angle. But thank you guys for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.